All right. I have 9 o'clock, and I believe everyone that was scheduled to come is accounted for. So I'd like to call this meeting to order of the Public Safety Committee for Monday, May 3rd, 2021. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, this meeting will be conducted via remote participation. The audio or video recording transcript or other comprehensive record of proceedings will be posted on the city's website as soon as possible after this meeting. Ms. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilor Cormier?
Present. The video recording transcript or other comprehensive record of proceedings will be posted on the city's website as soon as possible.
All right, hold on. Sorry. Councilor Cormier?
Present.
Councilor Harder?
Present.
Councilor Tyros?
Present.
Thank you. And if we can proceed with department updates, we don't have an update from the building department. He was not able to be here this morning, so we'll move on to public health.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, so we have finished all our little side vaccine clinics. We did senior housing clinics. We finished the ones at Gardner Housing Authority. We had 2 different locations for them, and the Haywood Wakefield ones. So we've got those all done. We are working with the fire department and Woods Ambulance on the homebound vaccine clinic program. We were all set to go on April 13th, and that was literally the morning that the Johnson & Johnson news broke. So unfortunately, we had to put a halt on that. But they have now lifted the pause, so we're resuming the program, and it's actually starting tomorrow. So we have people scheduled. We're going to give a schedule to Woods Ambulance and a schedule to the fire department, and they're going to go out and do a handful of people in their homes. So all these people have been pre-screened, and the call center is also helping doing the screening. So between our office and the call center, they're pre-screening people. We add them to a list, and then we send out the teams to do it. So there's a couple people that are still kind of uncomfortable, so we're trying to work with them to see if Moderna is an option. Cherry City Pharmacy has been doing some in-home vaccines with the Moderna, so if we have people that are uncomfortable, I just learned like last week that we kind of refer them out to them, which is awesome. So that's good. We just did our Starbucks food establishment plan review. That's going to go in the new plaza there where the 99 is. Everything looks great. We are working on getting caught up with food inspections now that COVID's kind of dying down a bit. We're able to kind of get back to the routine things. We are done with waste management on June 30th, 21. We are going with E.L. Harvey. We just ordered some new trash toters. Not that we have to switch because the city does own the toters, so it's not like we have waste management toters. We have city toters. But there are a lot of residents that are asking for second service. We've seen, I think, a 500-ton increase so far this year with trash alone. People are just producing a lot more trash now that they're home a lot. We're working on our seasonal food and liquor licenses. There's just a couple of businesses in the city that have seasonal licenses. We're working on getting those out. The COVID cases in the community are still on a decline, which is great. There was a little jump after Easter, but the positivity rate is now 2.66. Last time we met on March 4th, it was 2.98. So still going in the right direction, which is awesome. The testing has kind of decreased as well, so there's still testing available through Haywood as far as like here in Gardner, but I know the CHC used to have their Prospect Street location. They had 2 days a week. When they first started, it was I think 5 days a week, and then they went down to 2 days a week for testing, and now they're not doing testing there anymore, which I guess is a good thing. We just don't have the volume, so it's not necessary. So they're still just doing it at CHC for their patients, but not at that location. I'm sure you guys all heard about the new guidelines. May 10th, we are entering phase 4, step 2. So we'll see things like large capacity venues will increase to 25%. We can have things like road races, singing indoors is allowed. And then May 29th, we'll see an increase with events, 200 people indoors, 250 outdoors. Still 10 people, now it's 10 people per table, which is an increase from 6 at restaurants, still only 90 minutes. And it has to be seated service still, so you can't like walk around with your food or your drink. Bars can open without a food requirement, so that's a change. Still no dancing at bars. We can have street festivals, 50% capacity. I know we're talking about internally in the city, talking about the food truck festival. I'm not sure how we're going to determine what 50% capacity is on the streets, but we're going to try to figure that out. And then August 1st, Massachusetts hopefully can be fully open. Not sure exactly what that means, but we're going in the right direction. So we just continue to help businesses review different plans. So we'll get like sports events, like I know they want to have a swim meet in June, graduation, different events and activities. We're helping to review those. We just had our annual landfill inspection done by the engineers that monitor our landfill. So they do testing for surface water, groundwater, they take samples, they compile a big report, we send it off to DEP, you keep it on file. We are currently looking for a part-time transfer station attendant. The job's posted if you know of anybody, 26 hours a week. And this past weekend, it wasn't on my thing I mailed out to you, but we participated, myself and the assistant director participated in the Keep Gardner Beautiful trash pickup event, and she collected, well, she and the community and all the volunteers, 36,123 nips. So those get turned into Anthony's Liquor Mart. He provides a donation of 5 cents per nip to go back to the organization, so it's really great. So then she can continue to do all her cleaning up in the community, and 7+ tons of trash got brought down to the transfer station. So we were loaded. Definitely need a big pickup this morning down there. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, my camera stopped working. You can hear me still, right? I hope. I have a really yucky camera, let me just say. So.
Councilor Harden, Councilor Tyros, any questions?
No.
Not a question, but great to hear the collaboration between departments, especially on the homebound vaccination program.
Thank you. Yeah, they've been great. I mean, like, awesome. Everyone's been really supportive and on board and doing our best to get it going. Had a little snafu, but back on track.
Great, and it's great on the cleanup. With the change in phase 4, has there been any announcement on private gatherings in people's homes? Has that changed at all?
Yes, private gatherings will change. I'd have to look though, because right now I believe it's 25 outdoors, 10 indoors still. I don't know off the top of my head. It's hard to keep all these things straight.
Yeah.
I will look though, and I will let you know.
Thank you very much. All right. Chief Brax, you are up next, please.
Okay, thank you. So the police department continues to have 2 recruit officers in the academy. All the officers throughout the year have complied with their necessary trainings through Zoom sessions, though the Zoom tends to limit more crucial interactions that they actually need, which solidifies subject matter and develops the ongoing professional relationships that they have with the other officers throughout the area. Despite limitations, we're still assigning and completing the required necessary training, and we're also updating the policies that have been required from the police reform. So that's an ongoing with us as well, which is bringing about some additional trainings that are necessary for all the officers to actually go through. The department is, in comparison to last year, accidents seem to be up about 12.7%. I think the motoring population just a lot of people are attributing it to distracted driving. We've had a lot of enforcement efforts that have gone out on the street, and we've detected some distracted driving as well. So we're trying to address that. We're doing directed patrols throughout the entire city as well. Offense calls are down 13.25%, and arrests are down 3.6%. So we're pretty on line with last year, plus or minus. One thing that we're doing here at the police department, we're requesting an energy audit. I reported last year that we're approaching 6 years here at the police department. So I asked National Grid to do a free energy audit of our building to see if there's any kind of energy savings that could be afforded us. It's similar to the same energy audit in the situation that went on at City Hall. And if there are any big items that we can actually save upon, I will bring that forward and for consideration. Dispatch is in the process of hiring 2 additional new positions to fill vacancies. We're considering experienced applicants for full and part-time positions. The dispatch center is short right now. We're in training right now with 2 dispatches that should provide them some relief. They're doing an exceptional job considering they are short. And I'm sure that this is just a temporary situation for us. We always have ebbs and flows with either officers or dispatch. So that's a situation that we have been familiar with in the past. Animal control. Recently, we purchased the new animal control van. It has been delivered and it's currently being outfitted for service. The outfitted would be that the cages from the previous van are being modified to go into the new van because they're 2 different style vans. They have to be mounted so that you can safely transport the animals that you actually take from locations and bring them back to the shelter. We have put a fire security system update into the shelter. The previous system was probably 10 years old. And as we know with electronics, they soon become outdated. And we've updated that system. It's the best that we have to offer at this point. We're also using Unibank, which is a cashless payment system. We've installed that opportunity down there at the shelter. It's utilized by other departments here in the city. So it just provides greater efficiency for the shelter to be able to do transactions. That's something that I've also talked to the administrative staff here, and I believe that we're going to move forward and actually have that Unibank system here as well, because we've seen how truly effective it is. Civil defense, our director Topolsky, he continues to oversee the call site for the vaccinations down at PACC. They schedule appointments throughout the week for predetermined dates and numbers of doses. It seems to be going very well down there, except the recent downpour that happened this last week. Nobody was truly outfitted with enough umbrellas to be able to get from the cars to the site, but that's all right. And do you want me to talk about applications or wait till the applications come up?
We can discuss those after Chief Lagoni's update.
Okay. Okay, so that would be my report if there's any questions.
Councilor Towers, Councilor Harden.
No questions at this time, thank you.
I don't have a question, but I do want to say to the police chief, thank you for all you do, along with the men that work beside you and for you. A special thanks to your deputy chief. You do a fine job, and it's tough out there. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. The men and women that work here at the Gardner Police Department, we certainly appreciate the support that we get from the city and all the councilors and the mayor. So I thank you. We work very well with all the rest of the departments as well. Thank you.
Chief Rax, can you just quickly discuss, we've had some issues with graffiti recently. Can you just discuss what the citizens should do if they see graffiti and how to report it and what the city does in response?
Well, we do have some efforts to remove graffiti, though if it's on a particular personal property building, they're obligated to actually remove it by ordinance. If the graffiti's not removed by ordinance, then we have a process by which we take care of it. Though we certainly want all the public to call us if they think that individuals are going throughout the community and they're tagging particular areas of town. We've been very successful at actually locating individuals that do this, because taggers are proud of their work, despite the whether they're accomplished or not, and they are not always the only ones that know that they're tagging areas, because they want to be known by a particular mark or design. We are pretty successful. If we can get the individual, we can have them pay for the actual offense and get that taken off of the property. So we've been very successful having our partners in business remove graffiti, and the quicker it comes down, the better, because if they know that it's not going to stay up at a particular location, because as soon as it goes up, it comes back down, then they'll move to a different location, and hopefully it's not here in Gardner.
Great. Thank you very much, Chief. Chief Lagoy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. I'll start out with a update on fire department personnel. We've made one promotion recently. Firefighter Kenneth Chase has been promoted to the position of acting lieutenant. Kenny was appointed a permanent firefighter in December of 2014. And prior to that, he did work for another area fire department. He has been assigned as the floating lieutenant, which his duties involve covering other shift commanders that are on vacation. And when he's not doing that, he'll be working in the fire prevention and training office. That promotion was made in anticipation of the pending retirement of the lieutenant that's been out on injury leave since September 2019. Again, this has been a process which has dragged out longer than anticipated because of the pandemic. But I understand that it is moving forward at this point and should be wrapped up, hopefully in the very near future. Probationary firefighter Dan Quinn has completed his in-house training here at the fire department, and he will begin the Mass Fire Academy recruit training 10-week program next week, beginning on Monday, May 10th. And if all goes well there, he is scheduled to graduate in late July, at which time he will come back and be assigned as a regular firefighter. The new civil service list for the position of firefighter was certified and posted in mid-March. So we have begun the process of hiring 4 new firefighters to fill vacant positions. Unfortunately, that new list did not include the number of local candidates we were hoping. There was a very limited number of residents on there. So we'll be reaching further out into the state for applications, which we've been getting them in now. So we are reviewing the applications and the resumes, and we'll be hopefully within the next week or two be conducting interviews to get the process moving. There is expected to be a longer than normal wait time to get any new hires into the Fire Academy recruit training program, due to many fire departments across the state are hiring now. There was a lot of waiting for the new civil service list to come out. So there is an anticipated going to be a backlog of getting recruits into the academy, which will probably just push everything further back for us. And overtime continues, the expenditures continue to be high because of the high number of vacancies right now. That's the main driver of overtime costs. Moving on to a fleet update. Engine 2, which is a 2011 International Rosenbauer four-wheel drive pumper, recently experienced a failure of the main seal on the fire pump. We got the estimate in for that, and it's approximately $3,300, mainly due to extensive labor involved in having to actually remove the pump assembly from the truck to change the seal. Unfortunately, this is the second go around with repairing this same seal on this truck. We had another same failure in 2018. It appears to be maybe a design flaw with the truck. And we are going to move forward with that repair as soon as possible because the pump at this point is just can't be relied upon. So that's another unexpected, fairly major repair that we were not anticipating. A grants update. The fiscal year 2021 Massachusetts Firefighter Safety Equipment Grant has been awarded. Gardner received the maximum allowable amount of $15,000. This is a no match grant, so the city does not have to contribute any funding to the purchases that are going to be made with that award. And the equipment has all been ordered at this point, and it includes new hydrant assist valves and intake valves, which are going to replace older obsolete equipment that the newer valves have better designs to help protect the integrity of the city water system and the hydrants, which is critical in fire situations. Also, there was funding to buy a new battery-powered laminated glass cutter for vehicle extrication. For the last couple of years, all new vehicles manufactured in the country have laminated glass all the way around. Which is a safety feature, but it also makes it more difficult to access vehicles during accidents for extrications. So this new tool allows you to cut this glass rapidly and does not produce a lot of debris or shards or pieces that can fly and injure people. And also we've ordered a new cold water immersion suit, or also known as an ice rescue suit, which will replace an older suit that had developed leaks and basically was at the end of its life cycle. So that's some much needed equipment that we'll be putting in service shortly and at no cost to the city. So that's great. The South Gardner Fire Station boiler. We did talk about this at the last meeting a little bit, and I'd like to give a little more information on that. Also, Councilor Tyros had asked about the compliance issue with that situation, and what the communications from the state informed us about that is basically they require you to submit a plan for either repair or replacement of the boiler, which we are working on. Of course, it's going to be a fairly lengthy process, mainly due to asbestos remediation that's going to be necessary. At this point, the boiler has been shut down for the season. It only supplies heat to the South Gardner station, so based around April 1st, we just shut it down because the building will remain warm enough to not worry about freezing. So it will be shut down for the foreseeable future. I have met with City Engineer Chris Coughlin on this. He contacted representatives from Ty and Bond. They came out and took a look at the situation down there. And this week, actually this afternoon, we're going to meet with a representative from Weston and Sampson. Both of these firms will provide cost estimates on design, remediation, and installation work that will give us a better idea on the scope and cost of the project moving forward so we can develop a plan in the near future. The fire headquarters, the roof that we talked about, the roof repairs. I've been working with Building Commissioner Jean on this. We had new drain come in and scope all the roof drains and associated piping to confirm everything was clear and functioning properly, which it is, which is good news. And I know Roland couldn't be here this morning. I certainly don't want to speak for him, but his preliminary opinion on this is that it's probably most likely going to be a cost-effective option to do some repairs to the roof to get us through the near future. Probably, and then maybe in the 5 to 10 year range down the road to look at full roof replacement. So his initial opinion is that it is fixable, and it's probably going to be wise money to spend to fix it now and then plan on it down the road for a major repair. The COVID-19 pandemic, fire department operations, the number of EMS calls involving either confirmed or suspected COVID-19 patients continues to decline. Personal protective equipment supplies are sufficient at this time, and our suppliers have adequate inventory that we can draw off if we need more. We continue all our personal protective and disinfection procedures are remaining in effect. And since our last update, we have not had to quarantine any more firefighters. So that's very good news. And as Director Saunders mentioned, we are moving forward with the homebound clinic, which is going to start tomorrow morning. And to finish out here, I'll give you a first quarter 2021 fire department activity report. We responded to 1,186 emergency calls during the months of January, February, and March. This represents 8.4% decline over the same period in 2020. Motor vehicle accidents were down 15%. EMS calls down 9.5%. However, we did see some increases in some areas. Building fires increased 320%. We had 16 building fires so far in 2021 versus 5 in 2020. So that's a fairly small sampling, but a significant increase. Lift assist calls, responding to people's homes to assist them with falls and stuff like that, where they do not need transport to the hospital. We saw a 40% increase in those in the first quarter. And also the Fire Prevention Office conducted 213 inspections in that first quarter, which is an increase of 58% over the first quarter of 2020. And a good portion of that is due to the high volume of real estate transactions, which require the smoke and carbon monoxide detector inspections at that time. That's been a very busy section of our inspection office right now. So that's about what I have. Are there any questions?
Councilor Tyros, Councilor Arden.
No.
Thank the chief for getting back. Good information about the South Gardner boiler station. Seems like a lot of detailed work's going on there. Quick question for the Q1 statistics. Does the building fires include the mutual aid calls where you go to other towns and what have you?
Yes, that does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, which there was a significant number of those. It's been fairly busy around the area lately. And it does tend to come in waves. You know, we have times when we're very busy with that, and then it slows down for a period, it seems. Also, just on the South Gardner station, if any of the councilors would like to take a look at that situation down there, feel free to contact me, and we can certainly set up a time to meet down there and take a look at it if you're interested.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very much for your update, Chief.
Welcome.
All right, moving on to item number 10419, application by Eco ATM LLC for license to deal in secondhand articles at 677 Tiffany Boulevard. Chief Brax, now, if you have any commentary on this application.
Yes, actually, the Eco ATM is a ATM inside of Walmart. It's a self-contained cell phone depository where individuals will bring their cell phones and they have to supply an ID in order to take and do the transaction. We have not had any problems there. Walmart has had no problems with the item being in there, and they're in compliance for renewal.
Ms. Clerk, you haven't heard anything as far as tax liens on either of these applications or anything, have you?
They're good. They're up to date on their taxes. The form came in late, so wasn't able to get on the pack on time, but they signed off on it.
Excellent. Thank you. That said, I will accept a motion on this license application. You have a motion to approve, or yes, Councilor Towers.
I move to recommend approval of the application of Eco ATM LLC for a license to deal in secondhand articles at 677 Tiffany Boulevard.
I'll second that.
I have a motion by Councilor Tyra, second by Councilor Harden. If Ms. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Chairman Cormier,
Yes.
Council Harder,
Yes.
Council Tyrus.
Yes.
Right, and finally, we had a late edition of an application by Joseph Velarde of Gardner Coins and Cards, Inc. for a license to deal in secondhand articles at 18 Parker Street. Chief Rex, do you have any commentary on this?
Gardner Rare Coin Cards, there's no pending or existing issues for that establishment. The renewal application takes into account that they're moving to the 18 Parker Street address from the 13 Pleasant Street address. So that would be the old Parker House of Pizza storefront. So they are in compliance for renewal.
Ms. Clark, do you have any text or update on this application?
They're all set on taxes. I got this like Friday and I included it in the packet for the city council tonight. So they're in compliance and good.
Thank you very much. Then I will accept the motion on this application.
I'll make a motion to approve the application by Joseph Velarde of deal in secondhand articles at his new location, 18 Parker Street.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Councilor Harden, second by Councilor Tyros to move to approve the application. Ms. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Chairman Cormier,
Yes.
Council Harder,
Yes.
Council Tyrus.
Yes.
Very good. I will accept any new business. Councilor Tyros,
No new business at this time. Thank you, everyone.
Councilor Harden.
No new business at this time. Thank you.
All right. Then I would just say a big thank you on behalf of the City Council, as usual, to Director Saunders, Chief Brax, and Chief LaGoy, to you and all of your employees who keep doing the hard work to keep the city safe and protected. We appreciate all that you guys do on a daily basis. And Commissioner Jean, who is not here, and his staff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All right, motion to adjourn by Councilor Tyro, seconded by Councilor Harder. City Clerk will please call the roll.
Chairman Cormier,
Yes.
Council Harder,
Yes.
Councilor Tyros.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Is approved. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day.
Bye.